What kind of food do you have on hand? In my hand, I always have a cup of coffee, or at least it seems that way. But what do you have on hand? Hi there, it's Jeff, and this is Plain English, episode number 890. It's Thursday, so at Plain English we have an expression for you, and today it's on hand. I used this expression in an episode about the differences between living in Mexico versus living in the US. I had just recently moved to Mexico City. Now, orange juice is a popular drink in the US, and it's a popular drink in Mexico. In Mexico, it's common to get freshly squeezed orange juice on the street when you need it. But in the US, it's common to have it on hand in the refrigerator. The American kind is not as fresh, but you always have it on hand. That's how I used it in a prior episode. Now you're ready to learn the English expression on hand. Before we start today's story, I'd just like to remind you that the podcast is just one part of how we can help you upgrade your English skills. At plainenglish.com, you can make faster progress with active learning strategies. You can take quizzes, do activities, listen to the fast version of the audio, watch video workshops, practice what you learn, and even join a live call with JR and me. It's all about helping you build your skills to become a better, more confident English speaker. Sound good? Go to plainenglish.com to start your free 14-day trial today. Now, let's jump into today's story. When you have something on hand, that thing is available and it's close. You can get to it easily. In today's main story, we were talking about some differences I've noticed in my first year in Mexico. Differences between daily life in the US and daily life here. And I gave the example of orange juice. If you open the average refrigerator in the average home in America, you will probably find orange juice in a cardboard or plastic container. Most people have some orange juice on hand. They have it available. There's some in the refrigerator. They don't have to go anywhere to get it. They have enough to pour a small glass if they're thirsty. But here's the thing. That juice was squeezed far away. It was then put on a truck and shipped to the grocery store where it sat in the refrigerated section for a few days. So it's fresh orange juice in the sense that it's not frozen and it doesn't have added ingredients, but it's not like someone squeezed it that morning. In Mexico, though, it's not common to buy orange juice in a grocery store like that. So most Mexican households won't have fresh orange juice on hand. But the good news about being here is that you can go outside to a juice stand on the street, and there are lots of them, and someone will squeeze you some fresh orange juice. But you don't have it on hand. You don't have it readily accessible in the house. Oh, speaking of the differences between the US and Mexico, here you can't drink the water out of the tap, so I get large jugs of water. Well, I always have an extra sealed jug on hand. The reason is the big jug doesn't always run out at convenient times. In my first few months, I'd be pouring a glass of water to take with me to my bedroom at night, and that's when it would run out. Or I'd be in the middle of cooking a meal and I'd need water to make rice, and that's when it would run out. So I quickly learned my lesson. I needed to have an extra jug of water on hand. I need to have some extra bottled water available and accessible in my house for when I need it. If someone gets hurt in your house, are you prepared? It's always a good idea to have a first aid kit on hand. Or maybe you don't have a kit, but you have the supplies on hand. You have bandages, disinfectant, painkillers, antibiotic ointment, cotton balls, whatever. You have enough to handle a small injury at home, and you have it in a way you can access it. It's on hand. Do you have overnight guests a lot? I don't, but some people have parties, visitors, friends, family, and sometimes people want to stay the night. If that's what your house is like, then you want to have some extra sheets, towels, pillows, and blankets on hand. You want to have those things available so that your guest can feel comfortable. If you live in an area that loses power a lot, you might want to have some flashlights, batteries, and supplies on hand. There's nothing worse than losing power at night and having no way to see. These days, you might also want to have a spare phone battery on hand or a portable charger on hand in case you need an emergency charge. There might be someone at your office that's in charge of keeping office supplies on hand. That person will make sure there are pads of paper, pens, notebooks, things like that. You want those things on hand at the office. If your car breaks down, you might need a spare part. Your mechanic will have some of the most common parts on hand so he can fix your car without making a special order. I always have several books on hand in case I finish a book and find myself in need of some reading material. Think about what you always have on hand. In my house, here in Mexico or back in the States, it's milk. I always have milk on hand. People sometimes make fun of me for this. They think drinking milk at home with meals is just for kids. I say no way. I always have milk on hand. Well, that brings us to the end of this episode. This was number 890. So the transcript is at plainenglish.com/890. See you Monday for a new story. Listen up if you speak Spanish, Portuguese, Chinese, German, French, Italian, Japanese, Polish, or Turkish. One of the most frustrating things about listening and reading in a second language is being confused by unfamiliar words or phrases. When you listen to plain English, or when you read the transcript, you probably encounter some words you don't know. When that happens, you have a few options. You can stop the audio, go look up the definition, then return to the episode, find your place, and press play again, but that's exhausting. Or you can just skip it and be confused. That's no fun either. But what if you could see the translation of the word into your language instantly without having to stop the audio, without having to look anything up? Well, you can at plainenglish.com. For each episode, we translate about 100 words and phrases from English to 9 languages: Spanish, Portuguese, Chinese, German, French, Italian, Japanese, Polish, and Turkish. And we highlight those words in blue. All you have to do is hover your mouse over the highlighted word, and you'll see the translation instantly. It works great on mobile too. It really makes listening a lot more satisfying, and it's a great way to expand your vocabulary in English. The best way to see these translations is to sign up for a free 14-day trial at plainenglish.com. During your trial, you can read as many transcripts as you like, all with the translations into your language. So sign up for your free trial today at plainenglish.com.